Hi, so sorry it's been so long. I've had a lot going on. Still got a lot going on. Life is hectic. So, just in the middle of doing a few things and moving and all kinds of stuff. And so, just a lot going on. So, I've been thinking about doing videos because I miss talking about personality types and all that stuff. And I really do miss it. And so I finally decided, okay, today I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go back and now we got this nice live feature, so I can just record on my phone, and got a nice phone, and also I can record on my phone instead of recording on camera and then downloading it and then uploading it. So it actually, YouTube's made everything a lot easier, which is nice. Okay, so lately, and most of you've probably seen the whole Adam Conover show. What you call it? I had it in my head a second ago. Gosh darn it! Why is my brain stopping again? Adam Ruins Everything. Now, when he first came on, I watched his YouTube videos, and then he turned into a TV show, and he's big out there and everything, and I liked him because he would take facts, like he would talk about jaywalking and how that term really came around, or facts that are passed down from mother to mother to mother to mother, religion to religion to religion, like circumcision and stuff, and kind of debunk it, why it doesn't need to happen anymore, why it was happening, and so I didn't mind that he was taking all these facts and sitting there and saying, okay, well, here's this fact, and here's where it originated from, and so this is what it means to us nowadays because this fact originated from this. Well, I lost my respect for him when he dissed on Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs is not a fact. It's not a fact to be debunked. It is a psychology. And I joined one of his live sessions and told him that. I was like, okay, Myers-Briggs is a psychology. It's not a fact that's passed down from generation to generation as truth. It's not. It's a psychology. You can't, Myers-Briggs has never come out and said, hey, this is fact, everybody follows it, everybody believes it, and everybody, like jaywalking and stuff like that, and circumcision and stuff like that, and voting and other stuff like that. Those are facts that are passed down, and people are told, this is what it is, but then he goes and debunks it and says, okay, this is actually, what it really is. This is how it originated, and everything else. And so then he touches down on Myers-Briggs, which is a psychology. It's not a fact. It's not something passed down generation to generation, and it's not something everybody understands. And the stupid part is like everybody thinks they understand it, and that's the biggest problem I think we have in Myers-Briggs, is that everybody goes on and they take the online test and they think they understand it, and then they think, oh, I'm this personality type, or they they fake it because everybody wants to be an INTJ or an INTP or something that's smart. And especially with the Big Bang Theory coming out, everybody wants to be what Sheldon Cooper is, because everybody wants to be smart, and everybody, so they don't understand the personality type doesn't mean how smart you are. Personality type means how you handle your personality. So if you're smart, is in Sheldon Cooper's case, he's smart, and so his personality dictates how he handles that smartness. And so he is a little confident and smug and everything, and he is, kind of, I guess, narcissistic and stuff. He cares really mostly about himself. So your personality type determines how you handle what A, genetics gave you, and B, so nature versus nurture. So what nature gave you and what nurture gave you. So your personality type just determines how you handle it, because you can have two smart people, and as you see on the Big Bang Theory, there's a group of smart people, but Why aren't everybody like Sheldon? Well, or Leonard, a little bit more calmer and a little more energy. Well, because they're different personality types, because they handle it differently. And so Myers-Briggs, your personality type just determines how you handle what nature versus nurture gave you. And like I was saying in the beginning of the video, it's not a fact. It's not this big old fact thing that was passed down from generation to generation that everybody believes. It is a psychology, and not everybody believes the same psychologies and stuff like that. Psychology is a hard thing, because psychology is just like doctors. You have your heart surgeon, you have your cardiologist, you have your your foot doctor can't take care of your heart problems. I have a pain doctor, but I can't go to him about gynecology. And so my pain doctor relies on reports from my gynecologist to help him out in determining, exactly, how much pain is Roseanne from this, and how much pain is she in from this, and, what's because he's a bone and muscle specialist. He's not a female specialist. But that's just, psychology is the same thing. You got your Myers-Briggs is one branch. It's your cardiologist, and your your typical psychologist is not going to your general so you like your general psychologist. That's a good example. Your general psychologist will know about Myers-Briggs, may not necessarily understand it, but can tell you a little bit about it. Whereas you have your general practitioners who can know a little bit about the heart, know a little bit about that female stuff, or know a little bit about sickness, or know a little bit about this, but they're general, so they know a little bit of general knowledge, and so they can help you. But then they have to refer you up to the specialist. You have to go to the specialist, because they can only diagnose it and then tell you where to go. But psychology isn't used the same as doctors. You don't have your general psychologist that sits there and says, okay, I've done my evaluation on so-and-so, and I think that they need this kind of psychologist because this kind of psychologist specializes in this. But every psychologist just runs by the DSM, and that's it. That's their whole Bible, their life, their everything. It's the DSM. Everything's about the DSM, and it has to be in the DSM, or so somebody who is an ESFJ, well, they're emotional and they wear their heart on a sleeve, and one minute they're freaking out, 1 minute they're calm, and then 1 minute you say something and they freak out, and people don't sit there and say, well, maybe it was something I said to them. They sit there and say, oh nope, they're bipolar. Go send them to a psychiatrist for a psych eval, because I just said something that she just flipped the freak out on. And it's like, okay, I'm an ESFJ, I wear my heart on my sleeve, I'm the real definition of it is out there. And so every emotion I have cannot be contained. It's just really hard to contain it. And that's the hard thing about being an ESFJ, is I can't fake anything. It's hard to lie, because it's there. It's just there. It's really hard, because I don't even know when I am doing something, making a face or something that is telling my emotion on the inside. But all of a sudden, I'll stop for a second and I can feel my facial expression. I'll think, oh my gosh, I'm showing this emotion. Just, it's out there, And so, it's real, people, it's just funny. If we knew more about Myers-Briggs, this world would be a little bit better. And if we had more specialists out there, and if we ran psychology like we run doctors, it would be nicer too. Because why should we go to one psychologist and say they try and deem us with this disorder, so then we go to another psychologist, see if we can get a diagnosis. And sometimes you do. You go to a different psychologist and they're like, oh no, that psychologist was wrong. See, if you go from one general practitioner to another, generally they're all like, oh no, that was right, so go here. And generally, I mean, that's the good thing about the setup of the doctors. You have the general doctors that are all on board with their general knowledge, but they're okay with not having. Never tell a psychologist that you're just a general psychologist and you don't know crap about this up here because you don't specialize in it. Because that pisses off a psychologist, because they think once they become a psychologist that they must know everything about the human mind and behavior and everything because they are a psychologist. And it's like, okay, so you got, I'm glad you got your degree in school, and I'm glad you're like a psychologist now, but how much actual life experience have you had? See, I'm not a psychologist yet, and I'm a couple classes away from my bachelor's degree still, but I'm getting so much life experience with getting out there with the Myers-Briggs and getting out there with talking to people and getting out there and typing people and getting out there and just reaching out to people, and I'm not so stubborn that I can't not learn. Every person I run into, sometimes they could be the same personality type as I just typed somebody else. And like last night, I'm another ISFJ, and ISFJs, they have a loyalty to a fault. But one friend, I thought, you can't be an ISFJ because where does your loyalties lie? Because all these other ISFJs, this is this ISFJ, there's their loyalty. There's this ISFJ, there's their loyalty. Where's your loyalty? I don't see the loyalty to a fault. But as our conversation went on, we deciphered her actual loyalty to the fault was she latched herself onto religion. So that was the thing that she was loyal to the most all her life, just to a fault. Like it had, everything had to revolve around her religion, and everything about her religion was just. And so I guess ISFJs don't necessarily always have to put their loyalties in a person or a job. It can be in, I mean, I guess if you can have loyalty to a job, you can have loyalty to a religion. I just never saw that till last night. And it's like, oh crap, she has this. And the reason why we stopped speaking over 2 years ago, we started speaking 7 months ago again, almost 3 years ago we stopped speaking, was because we're both same religion, but she was straying a little bit from it, and I called her out on it because I should have seen that. I should have seen that her loyalties lied with the religion. I should have seen that. I should have known that, because that's what broke up our friendship. I could have said anything else to her in the world, and she wouldn't give a damn until I called her out on her religion. Bam. Instant friendship dissolved because I called her out. So, that's basically her loyalty to a fault, is the religion. And so basically I learned something new all the time. So now I know when I type an ISFJ to look wider, to branch out wider on that loyalty, to really talk to the person and really branch out and find out where that true loyalty is. Is it in a person? Is it in a job? Is it in a religion? I mean, where does that loyalty, because ISFJ's signature trait is their loyalty to a fault, to something. There's one thing they choose, somehow they choose this, and they're just lifelong loyalty to it. And generally I mostly see it in a job or a person. It's mostly, I guess, a job, but I guess, okay, so she brought this to me. So another one of the ISFJs, she has a loyalty, I thought, to a person, but it is also her religion too. So she has this loyalty first to the religion and to the only child that portrays that perfect, which the child's not. I mean, the child's told me that she's not perfect in the religion, but she told me never to tell her mother that, because she wouldn't disclose that to her mother, because how important this religion was in her mother's life. She knew that the second her mother knew that she wasn't perfect, that loyalty between them. So I thought the loyalty was between her and her daughter, but it's actually in the religion also, because if the daughter wasn't, the mother would still hold on to the loyalty to the daughter, but try and bring her back to the original loyalty. So it's, I guess, when you get those really uber religious, strict people, maybe they're ISFJs with that loyalty. And they put that, but the big thing is they have to put that loyalty above their spouse, above their children, above everything. And if things don't align with that top loyalty, so yeah, I'm learning as I go. And so that's one thing that makes me different about everybody else out there, is I don't think I know it all yet. And I know I don't know it all yet. And I'm learning. I'm learning with you guys. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning from other people out there. I'm constantly in a learning state, because you have to be. You have to be in a constant learning state. And you know, I started liking Adam Conover because he brought out that learning state of, okay, well, we've always believed this, but where did that belief come from? And okay, here you go, and you know, bring logic and reality to it, and say, okay, this is no longer just a wives' tale passed down, or you know, you've been using this term, and so, you know, here, know what it means before you use it. And so then I got upset, because you can't do that with Myers-Briggs. You can't sit there and get down on Myers-Briggs as if it's a fact. It's not a fact. It's a science. It's a psychology. And so you can't. So hi to whoever just logged on. Hey. So yeah, I'm just talking about, you know, I lost so much respect for Adam Conover when he dissed on Myers-Briggs. It's a psychology, it's a science, it's not a fact to debunk. It's not a passed down fact. Jaywalking, circumcision, voting, all that was a fact. That was a fact passed down. That is something that we're told by our parents, our government, whatever. It's like, okay, you can't touch down on Myers-Briggs, just like Adam Conover shouldn't go debunk religion, shouldn't go debunk psychology. He should stay far away from those fields. You don't go debunking those things. Those are just things you don't touch down on. You can touch down on literal facts, but you don't touch down on stuff like psychology or religion, because then he starts to become this kind of person that is just like, okay, I believe this. So basically now his goal will become, I believe this, and so I'm just going to get the rest of the world to believe exactly what I believe, and I'm going to do it by using this show. Oh, no, not the lotus pose. Whoa. No, I do psychology. Myers-Briggs personality typing. Weird. Lotus pose. I don't even know if I know how to do it. Probably may have heard of it. But, that's weird. That it's in yoga? Well, I just titled my video. Sorry, I haven't been back in a while. I probably haven't made a video in a couple years. And so, I mean, I know I have followers and stuff, and I feel bad that I don't make videos for my followers, because I've wanted followers so bad now. I finally got them. I don't make videos, but I need to start making videos. I just got a few things going on in my life right now. Oh, is that why I'm just comfortable. Huh? Well, this is how I normally sit, so if that's lotus, this is actually pretty comfortable. I'm just sitting with my feet kind of tucked under me. I love wearing socks, and so when I'm not wearing socks, I love my feet tucked under me, and so because a lot of your heat is located in your feet and your head. But when you become an adult and you have lots of hair, your heat doesn't leave your head as much. So when you're a baby, you always have to, keep the baby's head covered because their heat dissipates. So as an adult, you have to keep your feet covered. You have to remember to keep your feet covered because your feet get really cold. And so it's kind of cold down here. And so I'm sitting like this because I'm cold. So if that's the lotus pose, it's a very good one if you're not wearing socks and you need some heat. That's a good pose because I am keeping my feet warm right now, which keeps my body warm. Because your feet and your head is where it's like your blood flows from your heart and goes up and it goes down. And your feet and your head are the 2 points that it hits and then comes back down. And so your heat and comes out those two ends of your body is where it gets pushed to. Your heat and your chi and everything gets pushed up and down to your feet and to your head. And that's why like reflexology and stuff is all kind of important because everything gets pumped to your feet and to your head. And so that's why points on your head are important, points on your feet are important because, you know, it gets, that's where your blood flows. It's where it's designed to flow up and down, and then it hits those points and comes back up or comes back down. So, helps straighten my back when I sit. Yeah, I'm kind of slouched over because I'm holding my phone and stuff. But yeah, so that's the lotus pose. It is very comfortable. I mean, I naturally sit this way all the time. But like I said, it's also keeping my feet warm. I got them tucked under my fuzzy pants. But it keeps my feet warm because, like I said, your chi, when your blood and stuff, and it just, it rises and it falls. And so that's why, you know, nice thick hair is nice. I got nice thick hair so I never get cold. Your right foot on your left thigh and your... Oh, yeah, I can do that too. Like that. I'm pretty flexible. See, look at that. Oh, look, I wiggled my toes. I'm not extremely flexible, but I'm pretty flexible. So, well, and this isn't actually terribly uncomfortable for me. I mean, I can feel a tiny bit of muscle strain, but not enough to bother me. It's just, yeah, I've actually sat in this position and you can actually get up and walk if you want. You walk on your knees, it's kind of funny. But yeah, yeah, so, yeah, it looks really weird too because you got your feet up there. So without using your hand to cross your, like, okay, can you sit lotus style without using your hands to cross? Oh, okay, let me see. Okay, so I used, oh, that is a little bit harder because I did use my hands to do it. So yeah, you got to kind of make that foot crawl up there, but yeah. There we go, see? There we go. I got my feet to crawl up there on their own. I guess I'm pretty good at this lotus thing, huh? See, you learn things new. I love YouTube. You know, come on here to do psychology this morning, and I'm learning about lotus poses and stuff. This is so funny looking with your feet on the other side. Doesn't it look so funny? It's so cool, though. But yeah, yeah, if I use my hands, I can adjust my feet on my thighs better, but I can do it without it. Really? If you should... Because I can't put my foot behind my head. I'm like, oh, hey, that's as far as we get, huh? That's damn flexible, but not that flexible. But, gosh, if you could put your foot behind your head, you should be able to put that. Whew. Yeah, I can feel, that actually feels like a really good workout, though, because I can feel, I feel like I just stretched. That's actually kind of cool. I should do that on a daily basis. See, I got three really young kids, and sometimes we're sitting a lot and watching TV, or I'm homeschooling them, so I'm sitting a lot. And so I sit a lot because I either homeschool or I'm putting my almost 2-year-old down for a nap. And so I don't get a lot of stretching, and my dad gets down on me and he's like, Rose, a lot of your pains because you don't stretch. But maybe even just simply sitting down and getting in that lotus pose like that, you know, I already feel like this a little bit has gotten stretched out. So I'm surprised I was able to do that lotus pose too, because I accidentally dropped a suitcase on my ankle. Yeah, this is so interesting. So I do a lot of Myers-Briggs talk on here if you're interested in personality type. I'm working on becoming a psychologist. I have had 3 kids in the last 6 years, and so I keep taking a break in school, so I haven't finished my bachelor's degree. I'm like 2 classes away. But in the meantime, I have been working my butt off trying to learn about all different personalities, not just Myers-Briggs. I've gone into Keirsey, I've gone into whatever that one that I did a couple years ago. Oh my gosh, I need to get back into that one. That one that is a drawing. It's still a drawing on my wall from 2 years ago. If I go upstairs, I can show you. It's still a drawing on my wall. And it's every time I pass it, I think, gosh, when people come over to my home, they must think I'm into witchcraft. Because I have this big circle with this kind of funky star in the middle and these letters ESFJ or whatever written on, I have these funky letters written on it, I'll have to show you. Let me walk upstairs and show you. I'll have to show you because it's kind of funny because, I'm like, people must think I'm into witchcraft or something. Although I don't mind looking into the pagan religion. I'm LDS, but I am open to, I'm one of the very few LDS people that are probably very open to other religions, which most people aren't. Oh, okay. Lotus. That's wrapping your hands behind your back and grabbing your feet. That's wrapping your hands behind your back. And oh, okay. I wonder if I could do that. See, look at this is from 2 years ago. It's still up on the wall. It's I forgot, Enneagram or something. That's what that's called. I remember it now, okay? So yeah, I got all these. Yeah, people are probably like, oh, she's into witchcraft, because look at that. She's got this crazy witchcraft drawing up here. But this is an Enneagram, and how I put Myers-Briggs into an Enneagram. And I'm working on putting the Keirsey color into, and I'm trying to actually combine all psychology. And sit there and say, okay, not one personality typing is right. They're all right, and they all overlap into each other if you can figure out the code. Because I'm one of those people that I can make a choice of my main basis. Like I said, I'm LDS. But I don't mind going to like a Buddhist church or a born-again Christian church or, looking into paganism and witchcraft and stuff and the Mother Earth and everything and all that stuff. The same as I take my Myers-Briggs. My Myers-Briggs is my foundation for everything. But I try and bring everything into it because they overlap. All religions overlap too, whether people want to realize it or not. There one time probably was one religion that just branched off. It's like when the LDS Church started and Joseph Smith died, and then 3 branches came, 2 more branched off from it because they're like, oh, well, we like this, so we're going to go continue this, but over here. And so then you get branches, and so you probably had the original religion, and they all branch off, and they all start, they keep the foundation, but then they bring in, well, their new stuff. And so, everything has its big foundation. You just somebody's got to go find it and got to find the connection, This video's getting long. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing with psychology and Myers-Briggs and stuff is it's all about, okay, Myers-Briggs is, I think, the most correct of all the psychology personality types out there. And how are we going to incorporate everything else into it, because, I don't debunk the other side. Not Adam Conover, I don't sit there and debunk everything else. To make mine right, I say, nope, this could be right. And actually, I'm seeing some trends of how it fits into Myers-Briggs. And so I took Enneagram and I said, all right. And I started noticing patterns. I started taking the INTJs I know, and I said, okay, all you INTJs, I want you to take this test. And they all came out exactly the same, exactly what I thought they'd be. I was able to predict what their Enneagram numbers were because it did overlap into Myers-Briggs. And so I want to do that with Keirsey's colors. I want to break down Keirsey and say, okay, here's the colors, and here's Myers-Briggs. It might fit into temperaments. The colors might actually fit into temperament, is what I'm thinking. Yeah. But yeah, I'm the kind of person that I don't know if I'm into religion or not, or if it was just ingrained in me from childhood that it's such a part of me now that I feel like I can't be without it. So that's the hardest thing is, how were you raised, you know? Were you raised without it? Were you raised by a family that had a religion but wasn't active, and so you didn't have it ingrained in you? Or did you have it ingrained in you, but you're one of those people that actually broke off because something happened in your life that you ended up breaking off? Because there's just different reasons why people, because if you tell somebody you don't have a religion, they're going to start getting down on you, and then they're going to start trying to tell you to come to theirs. And I had an interesting conversation the other night with one of my home teachers, because he was sitting there saying, we were talking about AA, and he was saying that AA, how they get you over it, is a relationship with God. And I said, no, it's not a relationship with God. It's, you have a hole in you, and the concept of God feels it. And so instead of taking the substance, you're taking in the Lord now. And so people find, and I said, so it's about religion. And he said, no, it's about your relationship with So yeah, this is funny. So yeah, see, you didn't have it ingrained in you as a child. It's really hard when you have it ingrained in you as a child, because then you feel obligated as an adult to continue following it. So he was telling me, no, it's about a relationship with God. And I said, no, it's about religion. And he said, no, AA. And he gives me a speech about it was founded by an atheist and blah, blah, blah. And it's about a relationship with God. And I said, no, because once you have a relationship with God, somebody makes you join a religion. And he said, no, when you find God, God tells you to join a religion. And I'm like, no, because people out there who say, I have a relationship with God, I am a good person, I take care of my family, I live a life normal, and I don't do anything wrong, and I have a relationship with God, I'm going to heaven, and they say, nope, you can't go to heaven without baptism, without this, without that, and so you have to have religion. I said, it's not about God, it's about religion, because nobody in this world would allow you to have a relationship with God and walk away and let you be happy. They would say, okay, here, read this and come to my religion, because now that you have your established relationship with God, you got to establish your relationship with religion, because you're not allowed to have a relationship with God. And when you're in AA, they start the relationship with God, but they do have you join a church. You know, my brother recently went to jail a few months ago, and he comes out going, okay, we held an LDS meeting, and I was raised LDS, and he's getting off the substances, and all of a sudden, he's brought back to the religion in jail, and so he's going back to the LDS church with my parents because he was brought back to that religion. And so, they bring in religion. They don't bring in just people that just believe in God and AA and get you changed. They bring in religious leaders and recruit you. And sometimes I wonder if they use AA as a recruitment tool, because it's in the bottom of a church, you know. So, alright, this video is pretty damn long, so I'm sorry, guys. I try not to do long videos, because I know sometimes when I'm watching long videos and I see somebody rambling, I'm like, oh my god. But that's if they ramble. Do something interesting if you're going to make a 30-minute video. I hope this was interesting. But, I'm kind of glad they came on and taught me about the lotus pose, because you know what? That's kind of fun. You know, it did help stretch my legs a little, and like I said, homeschooling kids and all kinds of stuff, and when you do a lot of sitting around and, you know, because you're sitting there teaching your kids or whatever, you know, and I don't have a safe yard for my kids to go out and play with, and so that's why I'm moving, is to give us a backyard that's safe to play with, that I don't have to worry about my kids getting out onto a really busy road, because I live off a main road. I live on a main road, and so one of the reasons I'm moving, so this weekend I will be moving back to my mom's house, and then from there we will get our house on the market in a week or two and get it sold, And hopefully sometime after the new year, I will be buying my new home and I will be setting up my new home. But I'm going to try not to forget about you guys, my followers, and my favorite thing, psychology. Because it is awesome when it's done right. Not by somebody who thinks they know it all. I'll have to post another video titled The Psychologist versus the Sociologist, because I've been telling the story for the last couple days. Psychologist for the win. Because you can tell me that I don't know psychology, whatever, but I beat out a sociologist a few years ago. It was actually kind of funny. I controlled her. Alright, we'll talk to you later, and I'll make that video later, but we'll see you later, and alright.